We're going to talk about Jerami Grant. Right now, he's with the Pistons. They are losers. They are 2-9. They're in the East. I think they're last in the East. Jerami Grant, though, was averaging 24.8 points per game, 25 a game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, shooting 46% from the field and 38% from three. He has doubled his scoring average from last season. And I'll be the first one to say that I did not expect this from Jerami Grant. I thought his ceiling was maybe 15 points per game. And he has exceeded, I think, everybody's expectation. He betted on himself. In Denver, he could have stayed and been a role player. He could have went to another team and just been a role player and been that glue guy for a championship team. But he decided he wanted to be the best player on the team. He betted on himself. And so far, he's been that guy. He's been scoring. He's been efficient. He's been helping the Pistons lose competitively. Do you think that Jerami Grant, to this point in the season, is the most improved player in the NBA?
Yeah, I do, but I don't want to say it like as if there is no other chance. I think a few guys definitely deserve some recognition. You know, DeJounte Murray, DeAndre Hunter, Christian Wood. I think those guys who aren't going to get the recognition for Jerami Grant, I think those guys have improved in all facets of the game. But as of right now, like Joel said, throwing out the numbers, Jerami Grant, he bettered himself, and he has been the de facto best player for Detroit. He's been their closer. He's been their best scorer. He's been one of their best defenders. And I think when people saw that he left and went to Detroit, it was a head scratcher because people was like, why would you go to that team if you can be a key piece to a championship team? He decided to bet on himself. People were like, why would you let Christian Wood walk and get Jerami Grant? He bet on himself again, and now he definitely is the front runner for most improved player of the year. But like I said, DeAndre Hunter is another guy. He's improved at every facet of the game, shooting a 50-40, 83 clip, 16 points a game, 17 rebounds. 16 points a game, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Another guy, DeJounte Murray, who's finally getting to play, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He's also improved. So other guys have improved, but right now the front runner I would have to give is to Jerami Grant.
Yeah, and I would say the two guys that I think it'll really come down to is him and Christian Wood, just because both of them took such crazy leaps in bigger roles. Like, it's been, those two guys have really impressed me the most. But Jerami Grant, you know, Joel kind of hit on this. When he was in Denver, you kind of thought you knew what you had, like a 3-and-D guy, a great 3-and-D guy, though. And I think we were all high on him for contending teams to go out and get and play a role. But I don't think anybody expected this out of him. You know, he's taken double the shots this season. He's still shooting a great percentage, around 45% from the field. And it kind of reminds me of what Pascal Siakam did in Toronto. And that's the kind of player that he reminds me of. Like, I don't think he'll ever be the best or second best, maybe the second best player on on a winning team.
If he does this for a season, definitely.
Yeah, but I'm incredibly impressed. I did not think that he could become the main option in an offense, and he's done it and done it well. He's scored from all 3 levels. He's handled the ball in a point forward role. He's ran the pick and roll as a forward. Like, he's doing it all. We knew he was a good 3-point shooter at least, a great defender, a great rebounder. He played those roles with the Nuggets, but now in this expanded role, he's shown just how much potential he really has. It's been super impressive, and I think he is my most improved player personally.
One guy, I want to ask you a question because I feel like this guy's under the radar. What about C.J. McCollum?
He's
for
been
most
playing great.
improved player? I think he's been playing great, but I don't know if I'd have him as most improved player.
Well, it's right now, like, because his numbers look ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't think
playing,
he's gonna.
His numbers are better than Dame.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna keep up. Obviously, he's gonna keep it up. But I'm saying for like right now, for argument's sake, would you consider C.J. McCollum in that conversation?
I think he should be in it. I think the guys that are in it are Christian Wood, Jerami Grant, DeAndre Hunter is in that conversation as well. Guys like that. I'm not sure if CJ is in it because he's always been playing at an all-star level.
Yeah, I was just going to say, just because the expectation. It's like the argument that I was making during the most impressive rookies thing was like, it's harder for me to be impressed by LaMelo Ball because what I expected out of him. We all kind of expected CJ to play at an all-star level, and even though he's playing at a higher level than that, he's still, like, we kind of knew he was a great player coming into the year.
Hypothetical question.
Go.
You're the Pistons. I'm the Raptors.
What the hell?
I call you and say I'll trade you Pascal Siakam for Jerami Grant. Do you take that trade?
10 times out of 10?
10 times out of 10. What do you say?
The reason I'm tempted to say
That's
yes.
what I'm asking you. That's what I'm. You know what? I want to say no. I'm going to say no because Pascal Siakam is older. His contract is bigger. And I feel like if I bring him into town, I already know. I've seen his struggles this year, and I feel like he just lacks confidence at the moment. And people have figured out his game.
Are you talking about if I'm the Rockets or
No,
if I'm the Raptors or if I'm the
we're the
Nuggets?
Pistons. He's the
If you're the
Raptors.
Pistons,
that's
do
what I
you
meant.
take Siakam and trade Grant?
I would say no for a lot of the same things that Riv just said. Like, I feel like we kind of know what Pascal Siakam is now. He would need to take another big leap to become something else, whereas Jerami Grant is just breaking out of his shell.
Yeah, I'm not going to cripple myself for the guy.
He could be scratching the surface.
Yeah, I'm not. It doesn't make sense to bring in a guy who's been on a competitive team for this long to come into a losing situation with a bigger contract when I could just rock out with this guy who's probably putting up the same production. And I just know what Pascal is going to be, and it doesn't make sense for me.
They maxed Pascal, no?
Yeah.
If I'm the Raptors, I would try to get that trade done
If I was the Raptors,
and give
I
them
would
a
do
pick
it,
or
yeah.
two.
You think
done.
Jerami Grant can be the best player on a playoff team?
No, he can't. Wait, if you're with Fred and Lowry and those guys,
I don't know.
Look, I think Jerami Grant is a cheaper contract than Siakam, and he can put up the same production at a more efficient level, and I think he can guard better than Siakam too.
That's a tricky one to say because Fred VanVleet is out there, Kyle Lowry. Like, there's guys out there, and when we see Jerami Grant with guys, he doesn't put up the same production. So it would be like all right, I'm just going to, this is kind of like a gamble. Like, I'm going to gamble at the fact that he's going to put up the same production. He's not going to get the same touches he got in Detroit because now Kyle Lowry's out here, VanVleet's out here. But
not if they treat him like they're treating Siakam now.
Because they've been giving Siakam.
I mean, that's why they would trade for him. For me, I think in the NBA for players, confidence is everything.
Yeah.
If Jerami Grant right now is showing that he can do this, he's now confident in his game, and I think that can translate to different places. I'm not that high on Siakam, so.
I never was.
I just feel like we kind of know what he is. He's getting older, too. He's 26, right?
7.
He's 26.
Ooh.
Oh, he's 26? I thought he was 27.
But
Jerami Grant's 26 as well, too.
I feel like we kind of know what Siakam is. I don't think he's going to get
I don't think he can be the best player. I don't think he can be the best player on your team. You need to be successful.
There is at least that question mark on Jerami Grant. Like, can he become more? I don't think he would. I think he would be a similar player to Siakam, just a little more efficient, a better.
No, I think he would be a similar player.
I think he would, but I think it's different. Like, he know what he can't do. You know what I'm saying? Like with the Westbrook and the John Wall thing. Like, John Wall knows he can't shoot, so he won't take shots that doesn't make sense. Westbrook knows he can't shoot, but chooses to take shots that doesn't make sense.
And I just think Grant would be a better fit. He's a better 3-point shooter. I think he's a more versatile defender. Although I think Siakam is a good defender, I think Grant can guard more positions, different types of players.
So are we acknowledging the fact that Jerami Grant might be better than Pascal right now?
Yes,
if I had to take one of them,
is.
I would take for a bunch of reasons. I would take Jerami Grant. Mostly for the contract, if nothing else.
It's crazy.
He's making $20 million less than Pascal Siakam
No,
to
it's
do
crazy because
the same thing more efficiently.
Pascal was here at one point, and then this season he's become all the way down to like here.
The playoffs last year and the start to this season have really damaged my opinion of him.
I blame Kawhi.
But if Kawhi never went there, I don't think he even would have became this.
That is true. But if Kawhi never left, I think he would be okay with being that guy.
Because he would be the second option. I think he
was the third best player.
I think he could be a solid second or third option on a very good team.
That's what he is. He's not a first option at all.
So
I thought he was the third, but I thought Kyle Lowry was the second best on that championship team, and then he was the third.